What if I told you that the reason that nothing works anymore, it's not because you're lazy, it's not because you're indisciplined, and it definitely isn't because you're getting older. You're doing everything right. You're eating well, you're exercising, you're even taking your laundry list of supplements, and yet it feels like your body's just betraying you. The weight just doesn't seem to budge. You're anxious about every little thing, and at 2 a.m, you're lying awake wondering to yourself, when will you get that next piece of chocolate? You don't even like chocolate. Your doctor ends up running a few basic labs. They tell you everything looks normal, and they convince you that maybe it is just stress after all. But what if there really is a biological reason why these changes are occurring and there's actually something you can do about it? I'm Anna, I'm a functional medicine practitioner, and I've helped hundreds of women navigate the stages of perimenopause with grace. And today I'm going to show you the real signs of perimenopause that most doctors just miss. Here's what's really happening. Perimenopause doesn't just start with missed periods and hot flashes like everyone thinks. These symptoms typically start years earlier and are oftentimes dismissed by, I'm just getting older, I'm stressed, maybe I didn't sleep enough. The average woman enters perimenopause somewhere in her 40s, but I've seen it as early as mid-30s as well. And here's the thing, you don't just transition from perimenopause to menopause overnight. It can take a decade for your body to actually fully go into menopause. That's a decade of your life where you could potentially be thriving instead of feeling like you're fighting your body at every step of the way. But conventional medicine is missing all the early warning symptoms that could help you get ahead of this phase of life, and instead, you're suffering. So let's start with the number one sign that you may be in perimenopause that every single woman has expressed to me at some point. It's not what you think. It's this. What used to work for me no longer does. Before, you used to just skip a meal and you drop a few pounds. Now you look at a cookie and you gain a few. You used to be able to pull all-nighters, and now you can't survive without at least 3 cups of coffee before 8 a.m. You used to be the queen of stress management and multitasking, and now every little thing, it seems overwhelming. This is not a character flaw. This is not, you just need to push through it and work harder. It's a sign that your hormones are starting to have subtle shifts. Here are the specific changes that you might be noticing. Number one would be weight gain. And I'm not talking about weight gain everywhere. It's most likely in the midsection, an area where you normally do not gain weight. It doesn't seem to budge, and this isn't about willpower, ladies. This is a sign of insulin resistance. This is common when hormones start to shift. Number two, your libido has absolutely disappeared. And this isn't about not loving your partner. You adore them, but you'd rather clean the toilet with a toothbrush. And it's not because there's something wrong with your relationship. It's because your testosterone is starting to decline around this stage. Number three, anxiety starts to settle in. Now, this may be something that you had never experienced before, but all of a sudden you go from calm, collected to worry wart, anxious about the future, your kids, your partner, and starting to feel overwhelmed more easily throughout the day. Number four, cravings, particularly for sugar. You find yourself at 9 p.m. standing in the kitchen opening up a bag of cookies, and you can't stop at one, and you're wondering what's wrong with you. Number five, your energy levels, they're not sustaining you throughout the day. You find that in the afternoon, you're crashing and you could absolutely take a nap if you closed your eyes. Number six, sleep becomes this elusive thing. Maybe you have difficulty falling asleep because your brain is busy, or you're waking up at 3 a.m, wide awake, and you don't know why. Or perhaps you are staying asleep all 8 hours, but then you wake up feeling like a truck hit you. And what about the achiness? That brings us to number seven. Your joints and muscles, they feel weak and unstable, and it almost feels as if you ran a marathon, but you know you didn't. And then the PMS symptoms just get progressively worse. Maybe these were manageable before, but now you're moodier than ever. You're depressed, you're anxious all at once, your energy is low, you feel irritable, the cramps are out of this world, cycles start to slowly shift, and you may even have ringing in the ears. That's not the most common symptom, but I've had a few women mention it where it can happen with hormone shift. All of that to say, the most frustrating part is when you seek out help with your practitioner and they run a few labs, if you're lucky, they don't even look at hormones. And then they tell you that the few labs that they looked at are normal and that maybe you should just exercise more, eat an avocado, true story, and settle down because you're stressed. It's insulting, but that's because they're not looking at the right thing. So they're missing the big picture. So you see, conventional doctors, they look at that basic panel. If you're lucky, it involves thyroid, They'll look at some basic blood count markers like your red blood cells. They'll also look at your cholesterol, maybe your blood sugar as well. The problem is they're not looking at the hormonal cascade that's actually the driving force behind your symptoms. When I run comprehensive labs on women going through perimenopausal symptoms, I consistently see these things. Insulin is rising. Your blood sugars may look fine. Your A1C may look absolutely perfect, and yet you've got insulin resistance, which is going to make you hungrier. So now you're craving things you normally wouldn't. You're gaining weight. You're feeling puffy, fluffy, bloated. And on top of that, that's creating more inflammation in your body. Your cortisol, which is one of your stress hormones, it starts to dip. This is a sign of chronic stress. And you may think, oh, isn't low cortisol a good thing? But if it's too low, now your energy is low, your anxiety is high, depression may settle in, cravings, sleep is affected. You see the problem? Your testosterone is declining. And this is not just a men's hormone. Women have it too. It's important for your libido, your muscle tone, metabolism, energy, mood. Once that starts to go, everything else starts to fall apart. And when we look at your estrogen and progesterone, this estrogen is overshadowing progesterone. You have a ton of it on board, and that's going to make you feel puffy, fluffy, moody, PMSy, all the fun stuff. And with progesterone being as low as it is, which is one of our calming hormones, anxiety and sleep issues, as well as weight gain, all of these things are going to start settling in consistently. And this is precisely why you can't just treat one symptom at a time. As you see, everything is interconnected. Once one area has a problem, there's a domino effect. And this is why your basic labs are missing the big picture. They look at your blood sugar, but not your insulin. And please, when has your PCP ever looked at cortisol and hormones? Seriously. Most importantly, these reference ranges are so broad and they're based off of sick people. I don't want you to be sick. I want you to feel amazing and optimal. So what do we do with all of this info? First of all, you need the right testing. We need to look at your cortisol, your progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, insulin, see how everything is communicating with one another. And not just that, you want to look at the thyroid as well, comprehensively, not merely TSH, but T3, T4, your thyroid antibodies. A lot of women during this phase of life have thyroid issues that may develop just because of the stress. And because perimenopause is this full body crescendo moment, we don't just want to look at your hormones and thyroid. We also want to address your gut health. Is there a toxic burden as well? How does your body process stress? How are you absorbing nutrients and vitamins? You see the picture. Here's the good news though. Once you actually know what's happening in your body, no more guessing. We have decision fatigue as is, ladies. Then you can actually do something to fix it. Yes, this is a natural process, but it doesn't mean that you have to suffer throughout it, especially if it's going to be the next decade. With the right support, whether that's nutritional changes, gut health optimization, bioidentical hormone replacement, targeted supplements, whatever it may be, you can actually feel better than you've felt in years. I've personally seen women go from feeling exhausted and anxious to having that energy and the clarity to thrive in their lives. And that can be you too. I've seen women lose a stubborn weight, get their libido back, you're welcome husbands, and actually sleep like babies again. So it can happen for you as well. But it all starts by really understanding what's happening inside of your body. In other words, you need the right support, as well as the right testing and proper interpretation. If what I've described sounds like your life right now, you don't have to walk this path alone. At Interlink Wellness, we specialize in helping women who are going through this transition. We provide comprehensive blood work and testing. We give you a customized and personalized plan, and you have ongoing support. We don't just look at your symptoms, throw in a Band-Aid, and send you on your merry way. Instead, we dig until we understand the actual root cause of what is making you feel the way that you're feeling. We use advanced functional medicine testing that goes far beyond what your PCP would ever look at. But we also curate a customized plan that meets you where you're at and is in alignment with your health goals as well as your lifestyle and your body's unique needs. We don't rush appointments. We really want to focus on you, get to know your story, and during that process, we're also going to take some time to come up with a roadmap to help you feel like yourself again. With the right knowledge and support, perimenopause can actually be the opportunity to have a new set of wings. It's a time of renewal and vitality. You just need someone in your corner who actually understands what's happening, but also who knows how to help. So if you're ready to stop guessing and to start getting some answers, some real answers, go ahead and open up the description below, click on the link, and schedule your consultation today. your future self will thank you. And if this video opened your eyes to what might really be going on inside of your body, go ahead and click that subscribe and like button so you can see more evidence-based women's health-related content in the future. And let me know in the comments, how many of these symptoms do you actually resonate with? Maybe all of the above? I'll see you in the next video. Bye!